this ranch that's in Ballard, Utah, Skinwalker Ranch, you will see a lot of the activity within the heavenly realms by way of the stars clearer. And they say, I wrote some notes here, that this area is globally renowned for UFO sightings. I thought that was interesting. Globally is a powerful word. That means that nowhere, it can contend with some of the other hot spots that we find across the planet that too have a lot of paranormal activity. That this place in Utah contends with such places across the planet. I thought that was very interesting. The gentleman that I was watching today, what caught my attention wasn't that he was talking about Skinwalker Ranch. What caught my attention was the fact that he was bringing up, he used a particular set of words. He called the entities, what we would consider aliens or entities of that sort, sentient beings. And I know that in my past podcast, I spoke to the creation, our evolution, our creation, the way that we are created at this state. I had come across someone else speaking to us as Omega class sentient beings. And I thought, isn't that nails it, but that doesn't really nail it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we are Omega class sentient beings. We are the last in a line of our kind. We are the perfected state of our kind, if you want to call it that. Because it is written that there were many that were created prior to us that just didn't work out. They got shelved. I told you, when we look at this story between Adam and Satan, we're really looking at an entity fearful of being shelved. And it's as if we as a species, this Omega class sentient being, we are in ignorance to vital information regarding our creation and why we were created and what our expectation is in our creation. We're missing it. So we're somewhat squandering our calling. You see, and God potentially shelving another species and their fear of such, why would they be afraid that they would be shelved? They must have seen it happen before. In order for someone to come up with an idea that such things can happen, they've had a premonition that it's possible. But it's as if we don't know this Omega class sentient being ourselves. We don't know this. We're missing this vital piece of information. And so we're off in la la land. We got our podcasts. We got our houses. We got our cars. Our children go to private school. We've got money in the bank. We've got friends in the form of other Omega class sentient beings. We somewhat have a relationship with God. We really don't know God. We don't really have a hunger to know God because we're so busy knowing all this other stuff. In fact, we know so much that we even doubt that there is a God. Even though we can't deny it outright. And even though we're standing in all of the creation of God, all around us, the majesty of this thing. The majesty of how this thing has been pulled together. The amount of thought. Let's just say not the amount, the power of thought. Use some right words here. The power. The perfection of thought needed to make this happen. A symphony that we are planted in, all working itself in unison with one another. How? By doing what they were created to do. Yeah, we're not. We're not. We're the only species. Get this. The Omega class, sentient, is the only species that is not living up to its creation. Remember, every other species on this planet, name one that's not. Name one that's fallen out of their alignment. Oh, you think it's Satan and his minions? The only, let me say this. Surely Satan and his minions fell out of alignment initially, causing a domino effect. Bound here. Disembodied after a certain amount of time. Yet, if it's God's goal to bring all things back to perfect harmony and unison, Satan is bound to this law as well. He don't have a choice. Yet if Adam and Eve do not ever come back into alignment, just as a star aligns in a particular age or a particular way of life or a particular vibration is emanated, if Adam and Eve don't ever realign, come back into alignment, proper alignment, then the entire system will remain in the way that it is. It is waiting for the Son of Man to come back into alignment. Yet he doesn't know he's not out of alignment. He doesn't know the truth of his creation. And if he doesn't figure out the truth of his creation, what happens? Does he get shelved? Because it's really, really, really starting to look like it. That's what's on the line. That's what many are banking on. I know in the Bible and in many texts or some texts across the planet, it speaks to, Jesus coming back and taking his chosen people with him, and everything's going to be great. But I have told you over and over again that this is not a head count thing. The Bible conveys that God will do this thing all over again with three people. He can start this whole thing again